We know one thing. If there's anything that contravenes or go against ethics, the ethics of Islam, we're going to reject it. Don't make no difference whether we like it or we don't like it. If it contradicts the ethics of Islam, that's our tool. Therefore, I don't care what you do. You can't make me do it. Because no matter what they do, they can still just get on a higher level of suggestion. They can't make you no zombie where the little thing is turning, they say, go over there and do that. They can't do it. Not yet. They cannot do it. They can just suggest. That was the sorry thing about the movement, man. All the Negroes. This nice, beautiful lady go to pick up, I ain't gonna mention his name, Mr. E.C., I don't know what his name is. Pick him up at the house to go to a lecture. People are waiting. The girl got to run around the house for half an hour to fight him off. Sex. That's been, look, without the spiritual caliphing, believe me, I know how far, I know how difficult this job is, and I also know how it's not impossible, of course, because optimism says it. But it's rare. We're going to be, when the Quran talks about these fortunate people, almost lucky people, that's what it is. We're going to be lucky. That's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for luck. We're not shooting for the numbers. You know what I mean? The roll of the dice, say every 1,000 times it does this, or every 200 times, right? We ain't going by the numbers. The numbers ain't worth a dime. What we're doing is luck. Odds, fortune. Right? We shooting for luck. That's what it is. Quranic luck, of course, but that's what we're shooting for. We're not shooting for the numbers. The people are going to join the Masjid, and there will be 600 that get the message, and they will do this, that, and the other just right at the right time. That's the numbers. We shooting for luck. That's what we're shooting for. Yes. That's why the Islamic revival starts off as a spiritual revival. And Jihad said himself, it's hard for the Negro to practice true Islam as it is to put pants on an elephant. That's what he said, and he meant it. Not Nation of Islam, black man is God, white man is devil. But this is hard for the Negro, me and you, to practice true Islam. Remember, the white man made the Negro. Can you imagine what he put into him? Every weakness, every fault, every inferiority complex, every psychological mumbo-jumbo that the white man gonna put it, he put it in the Negro. Every class says that we got to win that battle. They put that in us. That's what they did. We'll be lucky. They said, well, there ain't nothing else. We're going to just be lucky. Again, it's a mission of love. They don't expect a mission of love. You know why? Because they figure if they harass you for years, 30 years of harassment, 40 years of harassment, 50 years of harassment, you're going to get mad. Not us. Whatever they're trying to do, you do the opposite. We doing the opposite. Instead of hate, it's love. Nobody else would be sitting up here talking about joy and happiness with all of this dumb stuff. This cracker does something, not every day, but that's 2-3 times a day, whatever it is. That's what they do. Something come up all the time. They arrange it. The dumb FBI came in here last month talking about, well, you don't have to worry about us no more. We're not gonna, you won't see us anymore. I said, hell, what about all this other stuff? So I said, well, I'll see. I'll be able to tell in my life. If this goes down, if that goes down, I think maybe they might have been lying, but just a little white lie. Not yet. Okay. So here's what we say. You know, you could tell how you feel about a certain thing. If you do certain things and it make you feel good, if you feed the people, it don't make no difference whether they say thank you or not. But if you feel better, then keep doing that. So if you feel optimistic, if it makes you feel good and optimistic, and you're 90% optimistic, you should keep 10% of pessimism just to examine things. You know what I mean? If you just all floating in the air and you never examine things from a strategic position of deception, they used to have a saying in the street, you got to know how to cheat to stop the cheat. So that 10% of pessimism is just to study how people are. You know, you don't just let it fly by. So, but, okay, I believe this is a wonderful period for our community. We're going to look toward the optimism. The Negro can have no clothes and be naked, but we're going to try to deal with it and bring the best out of everybody. That's the way we're going to do it. And down the line, we're going to get lucky. But if we don't get lucky, we're already lucky. To do this, to do what we're talking about, how many people are doing something like this anyway? Or talking about these subjects? Doing it. How many people have a plan to do anything? They don't have a plan. In other words, we got a free run of all, we got the whole Muslim and non-Muslim world out there. And that's where we're going with Allah's help. Because we choose to alternative resistance, non-violent resistance. Alternative resistance. This is more militant than either Malcolm or King was, or anybody else. The black militancy was almost a joke. Look how long it took them to knock over the party. It wasn't even fair. They just loaded up the party with a lot of people, and things grew, and all the real ones, they got attacked, right? And within a couple of years, the courts were full, and that's it. It took, technically, it took 3 years, because 1966 to 1971, that's 5 years, but by 71, the party was technically finished. When Huey came out of jail in 71, it was all over. He came out talking crazy and acting crazy. He got turned out in prison. Instead of him turning the people out and the revolutionaries, they turned him out. They turned him out. He came out, moved downtown, $650 apartment, Lakeshore Apartments up there. Jane Fonda and I just talked to Huey. He was such a strong arm in the black businesses. It just flipped just like that. He flipped the whole thing. You might have heard he killed a young 17-year-old girl. What are you killing her? Why are you killing a young girl? I mean, what's the purpose of all? What is the purpose of killing? And his bodyguards are too big old. They beat people up in nightclubs. Just the dumbest stuff.
His man said he was trying to take over the drug game in Oakland.
Yeah, he was, but one of my friends showed up at the San Francisco airport in the trunk of his Eldorado. But he was kind of a sweet. It ain't nowhere in the world. The party was going to take over drugs in Oakland.
He was trying. So you saying you think he was trying to do it under the party, as the
yes. No, he was. This is all out in front. This is not. If you owned a store, a shop, he was shaking down the store owners. You gotta pay it. No, this is right there.
In the name of the Black Panther Party, he was doing that.
I don't know if he had them sign on the slip say the Black Panther Party, but hell, everybody knew who it was.
Wow.
I know I have friends in the drug game. I'm not going to tell you their name, but I'm going to tell you the environment, and nobody would know except them. One of my friends, who was big at that time, had another entertainer type person that was dealing blow for him. And so Huey, the guy Huey and them, was pressing him about, let's say, cocaine, whatever. So my one friend went back to my other friend, and he told him what happened. My other friend, he watched a lot of westerns, I'm sure, but he put on a maxi coat and 244 Rugers. You remember them Rugers 5-shot pistols, the old western style pistols. He put 2 of them boys on, tied them up down right here, went back to Huey's door, knocked on the door, and when Huey come to the door, he stepped back and put, I said, this is right out of the old West. That's what he told me that, and that's what the word is. That's what he pulled the stuff back, said, what you want to talk about? And Huey, So Huey wouldn't mess with nobody that it wasn't a chance of him taking over drugs. But one of my friendly people, cocaine dealer, he was found in the trunk of his Eldorado at the San Francisco airport. And there's rumors. But anyway, you got to remember, a lot of the groups that started out good, they can have the white man in there and he just flip them. Okay, now you got to just look at us for just 1 minute. In 50 years, definitely in 40 years that you can sit here and watch. You know, we opened a masjid about 40 years ago. You can see that. And there ain't been nothing. Nothing. They don't believe it. They don't believe that they believe every Negro is full of faults. And they believe every man has a price. You just have to keep feeling around for finding out what the price is. Don't they say that? Yeah. No. Suppose they found out somebody that don't have no price. can't do nothing to them. And you find out after you went through this whole stuff, and then they sitting on TV telling there's a white man there is, or it's too late. Right? So we're going back to Oakland, and we're going to declare spiritual jihad. The only thing they can do, if they don't like it, is walk right up to me and shoot me in the head. And then they don't know what that produces, you know. They call it the martyrdom syndrome. They don't know. That might be the thing that set off everything. They just don't know. So they're paranoid, not us. We ain't paranoid about nothing. Nor is this strategic spirituality says follow your heart. That is direct down, follow your heart. But this is true, follow your heart. If Allah put a little good spark in your heart, just imagine over the years you get bigger and stronger in that. You know, that's the process. That's the process we've been dealing with. So we're going to teach spiritual solutions. And remember, that D-Day that they have on TV, that's a physical invasion. We have a spiritual invasion in Oakland. Spiritual invasion. All the tools are spiritual, all the weapons are spiritual. And they said they were so trying to open up a second front. The second front is a spiritual jihad in Oakland. And we got to win because they don't have no spiritual defenses. They don't have no defenses. Just imagine, they can't defend themselves. You choose a weapon now, you can say what you want, but to get here,